This is a story about a Sahara crossing. Back in 1997, when Google Maps and mobile phones were not available, travel was different. I flew to Casablanca in Morocco and made my way to Dakhla by public transport. The plan was to hitch a ride with one of the car smuggling convoys that was supposed to run once a week or so from Morocco through Mauretania to Senegal and further. As this route passed through the still disputed Western Sahara area, where the Polisario once fought, vehicles were required to join a convoy with military protection, which left the southern Moroccan town of Dakhla once a week. In a bar, I met Johanns and Christian, two Germans who were smuggling 2 cars to Senegal. Both were seasoned desert foxes, having taken cars and even buses through Algeria years before. This time they were trying to smuggle an old Peugeot 505 and a 1981 Toyota Land Cruiser. Both cars almost fell apart already. Although Christian was a good driver, experienced in maneuvering sandfields, we still got stuck every so often. No wonder with a sedan that was built for asphalt roads and had a clearance of about 30 centimeters. Most of the times we got away with towing the Peugeot out with the Land Cruiser, but sometimes we had to dig the car out while the desert sun scorched us. The convoy consisted of a handful of cars to be smuggled, including a brand new white Mercedes. This was a contract job for a minister in Gambia, being carried out by another German who actually had recruited some friends. They brought a few relatively new cars and 2 minivans. The trip to Nouadhibou, Mauritania's second largest city, located on the coast in the northwest, and then, without a road access to any other city, except by 4-wheel drive, took only a few days, passing by the occasional car blown up by a landmine. Whenever we got stuck in the sand, we needed to dig the car out in the heat. However, the longest delays were caused by border formalities. In the middle of nowhere, a small shack made of corrugated iron or a tent would appear with military personnel based there, who inspected out passports rigorously. One guy of the convoy told me he had waited at one border for 10 days once before he was let through. Getting to Nouakchott, the capital of Mauritania, turned out to be equally difficult. As no road connects these 2 towns, we had to drive through the desert again, although this time, in part, on the beach. There was a stretch of about 80 kilometers where you had to drive on the beach, as there was no other route suitable for cars. This required expert timing, though, because the beach could be maneuvered only at low tide. If you were caught on this stretch when high tide came, you had the choice of either driving into the sand dunes or try to drive through the water. In both cases, the car would be lost and you'd be stranded in the desert. And we made it. After waiting for the right moment for a few days, after passing quite a few given-up cars in the sand, after digging out our cars several times, and after a few more days, we reached Nouakchott. We moved on, and in Senegal, Hans and Christian finally sold their cars. They made enough profit to come out of the trip just about even. I left them and continued to Gambia, and then to Mali to reach Timbuktu. But that's another story.